and gentlemen, welcome here to the Minnesota Motorsports Park. Oh my, that was a huge flash there. I do want to apologize for that there, ladies and gentlemen, but welcome here to the Minnesota Motorsports Park, where tonight we are getting ready for 120 laps of action from here in Minnesota. Our truck race last night unfortunately wound up getting cut short, but we're getting ready to go here for action here at the Minnesota Motorsports Park, our second race of the season for the WRLA Xfinity Series. And of course, for the call of this one, I am not alone, because joining me here for this race are, of course, Wyatt Walker and also Russell Blaze, two of the respected owners in the WRLA. Wyatt, Russell, welcome on in, guys. How we doing?
Guess they figured out the power outage that they had. Shut everything down.
I mean, it's sad. Unfortunately, I ended up wrecking before that power outage happened. It was a tough break in the truck race, but hey, I'm in the booth. Both me and Russell are going to be up here in the booth, calling the race, and going to be seeing how our drivers do. This is going to be pretty fun.
Well, I mean,
haven't done one of these in a while.
It's actually pretty interesting, though, because you both were on the racetrack just this past last night. Of course, unable to finish the race, obviously, because of the power outage, if you will. But you guys have both raced here on this track just last year, back in September, and a little bit of last night, as we alluded to not too long ago. But what do you think these drivers are going to have to do in order to survive 120 laps here in Minnesota?
I'll let you go first, Sliferson. It was your current driver that won the Cup race.
Yeah. I know, just like Daytona, I would mostly try to avoid the 3, maybe 4 wide. And if they have to stay in the back at first, because 120 laps, it's good amount of time. You know, it's all going to be involved in pit strategy and everything else.
Yeah, I'd say I can piggyback on what he's saying, that this track is pretty big, so you can go 4 wide. It's not going to hurt to go 4 wide, but try to be a bit of aggressive, but try to be smart while you're at it. Sorry, I'm not the best at explaining. So,
well, this racetrack, of course, as you alluded to, I mean, you both have been able to experience this yourselves, that this racetrack is plenty wide for 4 wide action. But unfortunately, however, going into turn 1 is going to be a little bit of a challenge, given the fact that a lot of these drivers know that the bottom does not have any grip. So expect a lot of drivers to definitely back out of it heading into the first corner, as we saw this just last night. So the screen is black, of course, because I'm not 100% sure why that is, but regardless of that, we're going to go ahead and show you your point standings coming into tonight's second race of the year here for the WRLA Xfinity Series. You see them on your screen. That Marion Judicia currently has the points lead. Ryan Davis wound up winning last Friday's event at Daytona in a very thrilling fashion. Of course, managed to stay out front up until the very bitter end. Marion Judicia and Erica Douglas, both of the Jordan Anderson Racing cars, they finished second and third, but those 10 bonus points that the driver that would win the race would get, since Ryan Davis is only running on a limited schedule, he does not get those 10 bonus points. They go to the highest running full-time driver, Marion Judicia. Right place, right time, and she starts off the year as the points leader. Erica Douglas in second with 35 points. Campbell Marsh with 34. John Boyd and Dana Mon both with 30 points apiece. How about that for the Jordan Anderson Racing cars? All 3 of them inside of the top 5 to start things off here for this season. Marcus Sachi start in the 6th position with 29 points to his name. Ray Atikian and Josiah Munsell, one of your drivers, Wyatt, inside of the top 10, of course, with Ray 7th in the points because of Google Sheet Physics, breaking the tie, if you will. Mansell, of course, would get the nod for the 8th position. Noah Kars, 9th with 26, and Kasumi Takashi with 25. There's the rest of your point standings right here on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you see Reagan DeFeo up there. I mean, some drivers that I thought were going to have some really good runs to start things off. Unfortunately, not the case. I mean, Eric Blaze is one of those that I had a lot of high hopes for this, especially to kick off the year and especially for you, Russell, because this is a father-son sort of deal. And to see your son get wiped out on lap 1 at Daytona, that definitely has to be a punch in the gut.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate. Again, like I alluded to, the 4 wide racing, and just happened to be kind of right place, being near the front, but wrong time. And by the way, he does not know I'm up here.
Nor does any of my drivers.
Well, they will for sure find out here once we get this party started. Let's go ahead and review your starting lineup. The starting lineup was, of course, randomized. So as you can see, here's Steve Morgan, who had a very abysmal start off to his year. He starts on the pole for this race. Sam Robinson lining up alongside. Then it's Haley Tullis and Eric Blaze making up row number 2. Marion Judici, our points leader, and Stephen Walker. We'll see him tomorrow, along with you two on the racetrack. They make up row number 3. Josiah Munsell, Austin Kane, they make up Abby Walker, and Josiah Munsell, they make up row number 4.
Austin, we'll see her on the track too.
Austin Kane and Haley Curris, they complete your top 10. As far as Haley Curris is concerned, we'll know for sure if she'll be able to be in tomorrow night's Cup race after our qualifying festivities, which you'll be able to catch those tomorrow morning at around 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on the WRLA YouTube channel. Nick Martin, Sebastian Kukulon, then Alexander Rowe, John Boyd, Roberto Crown Jr., and Derek Hamill. That's your 8th row. Val Moscow, Justin Ingleham, Kasumi Takashi, and Marcus Sachi. That's your top 20. And then it's Reagan DeFeo, Will Parrish, Jordan Sumner, Celeste Lace, Ryan Kendall, Sarah Taylor, Campbell Marsh, Erica Douglas, along with Ajax Fitzgerald, Joshua Neely, Carter Belair, Noah Kars, Thomas Jericho, Ray Atikian, Dana Mon, Reagan Whitlock, Emmanuel Hartnett, who's going to be in the 99 for the rest of the year, attempting all the races. We saw him last night in the Truck Series race, so chances are he's going to be heading over to Las Vegas next week, still as the points leader. Harun Khan Koyaloglu, that definitely is still a mouthful to say, so bear with me, ladies and gents. And then our provisional starters, Igor Barreto and Kenny Stremme, both of the Colic racing cars starting towards the back of the field, or at least the Beacon Academy racing cars starting towards the rear of the field. Well, gentlemen, before we get these cars rolling on the racetrack, I got to ask you both, who are you going to be rooting for here in this race?
Oh, I know I got two of my guys starting in the first 2 rows, so obviously I'm going to be rooting for my guys.
I say the same for me, but if I have to pick I think family wise, if I have to pick outside my team, I gotta go with my cousin and my little sister starting up front. I can see them staying up, giving up front. You got the person who placed if I'm not mistaken, it was 3rd in the truck race at Haley Tullis. 3rd, you got a lot of great options. And anyone can win in any position at a super speedway. It's hard to choose just one.
I know also from experience last year when it was the Pepsi Cup Series, there's a couple that are in the Xfinity Series that I would keep an eye on as well. One is Campbell Marsh.
Yes.
Obviously, one of my other drivers in Ajax Fitzgerald. And the main one, Alexander Rowe.
Well, I would 100% agree with that. Both Rowe and Marsh were a part of The inaugural Cup race here last year, Campbell Marsh finished third in that event, I do believe. And while his former teammate at the time, Kyle Craven, went on to win the inaugural running of this race here at the Minnesota Motorsports Park. When it comes to the Cup side, we'll see them tomorrow. But as for tonight, it's time to go WRLA Xfinity Series racing from here at the Minnesota Park. We had a fantastic finish to last week's race at Daytona, and now we're gearing up for 120 laps of action here for these drivers. They're all strapped into their cars. They're ready to go. Pre-race ceremonies are just now starting to wrap up, but in order to get these 40 cars rolling on the racetrack, we got to get the command to fire the engines. So let's go trackside and get just that.
Are you ready? Drivers, start your engine!
And there it is, ladies and gents. Engines are fired, pace car is rolling off, and so are these 40 competitors. Actually pretty interesting to see that the first 3 rows are all occupied by Chevrolets. Death Rider racing cars. Of course, you got some of the other relatives for Wyatt Walker's family. Of course, Stephen Walker in the 66. He's also running for Russell Blaze's team. We'll see him tomorrow. But as for this event right here, second one of the season, and we're already starting off hot, and we're gonna try to keep the flames growing. Let's add more fuel to the fire, if you will. Steve Morgan and Sam Robinson, a duo of Chevrolets, are going to lead them to the green and kick things off for race number 2 in the WRLA Xfinity Series in Minnesota.
Oh, jetted right out of there, right off the gate.
And already 4 wide over here with Nick Martin and others. That is going to be pretty sketch there. The 2 of Alexander Rowe has to get out of the gas there, so he's going to lose a ton of positions. Mary Judicia led the first lap of action, so of course, Judicia picking right up where she left off this past weekend at Daytona. And already leading this race, Abby Walker now moving up into the second position from Steve Morgan. But Morgan isn't really going to take that easily, at least a little bit later on. Abby Walker is going to take over that second position officially. Will clear Steve Morgan. And now here comes Austin Kane in the 3, right underneath of the 7 of Morgan. And they're still 3 wide, at least 2 rows deep.
Yeah, this is already a wild start to this. Like, even before that first 4 wide, there was another one, like, in the back. It looks like they got that all figured out. But yeah, there's still, like, 3 wide and something between, like, the 3, and I think that's the, I don't know number 2. I think that's that's perfect one. But yeah, they're racing, like, they're kind of calming down maybe a little bit during the mid-pack. They're still a little crazy, doing, like, 4 wide, but right now, the racing is pretty good.
We're going to apply the automatic brakes here for a second, and I just need to go ahead and turn these guys up in my ear so that way you guys can hear them as well. Oh, boy.
Well, you're not able to hear me that well?
Well, the engines were actually pretty loud, but nonetheless, let's take off the automatic brakes here. Abby Walker now leads the charge. As you see Steve Morgan, Austin Kane, they're going to fight it out for the second position. And there's Roberto Crown Jr. in the 71. We're going to see him tomorrow in the Cup race along with Stephen Walker. Both drivers lined up on the inside line. And how about this, Russell? Your son, Eric Blaze, right now lasting a lot longer than just 1 lap.
Yeah, and I had to give him a pep talk after the Daytona race, just letting them know that You know, it's just the start of a long season. You know, not to get your hopes up. Just dust it off, get back in, and just keep dropping that hammer.
Well, so far, he's doing a pretty fantastic job. He currently scored in the 6th position, looking to knock on the door of Austin Kane's house to try to get himself inside of the top 5 here tonight. He started 4th in this race, hasn't fallen too far back, and has kind of been sticking around inside of the top 5, top 10 area for a vast majority of the early going of this event. Meanwhile, Nick Martin still leading the charge as he leads lap number 8. Abby Walker going to be using a lot of seat time here for this race here tonight to prepare for tomorrow night's Cup race. She actually fared, I'd say, pretty decently in the Daytona 500, despite being 1 lap down. She managed to definitely benefit from a lot of the chaos that we saw last week to at least get herself a pretty decent finishing position and kind of get herself a sort of good start to the year. But I'm willing to bet you that Abby Walker is looking to try to capitalize and sort of turn things around to kick off the year, and that's by trying to win tomorrow night's race. And in order to do that, she's definitely getting a lot of seat time here for tonight. She leads that lap over Nick Martin, who already takes it downstairs on the 26.
And she is a pretty good plate racer. Like she ran pretty good of all the different plate tracks that we went to last year. As she got a little loose in that corner, lost a little bit of ground there, but yeah, she's pretty good. I'm not surprised her still running up here. She's doing good. She's already got a win under her belt in the Cup Series, and she's making her big brother proud at the very moment.
And right now, still running inside of the top 5 as one of her Cup competitors, Roberto Crown Jr., managed to slide up in front of her in order to take one of those positions away. How about Ryan Kendall in the 00? He won the Indianapolis 100 once upon a time, just about 4 years ago. Once we get to that point, that's actually kind of crazy of how long it's been. Time flies when you're sure having fun. And right now, Ryan Kendall, he's having a lot of fun. He's up to 2nd, and now he's going to go for the race lead on the 78.
And he led that lap too.
You got an interesting 3 wide going on right behind both of them. Was 3 wide.
And they settle it back down to double file. Yeah. How about this 3 wide? That's Emmanuel Harnett in the 99. We saw him last night in the truck race, and he actually was kind of performing how he is right now, sitting around the top 5, top 10 area for most of the night. And now he's kind of exactly right where he was all night last night, right here inside of the top 5, top 10 area. And started pretty deep in the field in order to get to this point. How about this? The number 41, that's John Boyd. He's already taken it downstairs. These are the Durrani racing cars of Ryan Kendall and John Boyd. Now both of them have shown up inside of the top 10 for the first time tonight. Steve Morgan, our pole sitter, is coming back into the mix. And let's go a little bit further back. How about Joshua Neely in the 1 now starting to make some noise as he goes to the inside of Haley Tolas. Now 3 wide. This is to try to get inside of the top 10. And he did.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see a lot of 3 wide going on everywhere.
Yeah, this is a good race. This is a good racing. This is what we anticipated in this. Got a little close there with the 41 there. But this is what we anticipated with the lower 2 series coming up to this track for the first time. Craziness. I'm loving this already. The 3 wide in the back between, I think that's Ray and Tekin, and the 98 and the your son in that 3 wide as well. They got that sorted. Then there's 3 wide again with Haley Tullis, and they got that.
Oh boy, a little bit of almost 4 wide action over here. That's Will Parrish in the 28. Sarah Taylor in the 24. There's Harun Kankoiloglu, who started further in the back. Hasn't really moved up too far, but right now running mid-pack. There's the 11 of Igor Barreto, kind of about in the same place, but saw Ray Atiki, and he just got himself an absolute monster run trying to get by Jordan Sumner and as well as Eric Blaze and several others. And, well, Wyatt, I think you definitely made a pretty good investment by trying to recruit Ray Atiki into the team. He's already up inside of the top 10.
Yeah, Ray was the first person when I picked my Xfinity team for Walker Family Racing. He was the first person I picked. I've known Ray for so long. I know how good of a person he is and how he did part-time in the Cup Series last year. He was the first person I chose for the Xfinity Series, and he is proving it right there why I chose him.
Well, he was in contention for the win at Daytona, but of course, coming to the white flag, he got together with Bryce Egan and I would also believe Josiah Munsell and several others coming to the caution flag and the white flag. And I would have to believe that Ray Atikian still managed to come home with a top 10 finish and got his season off to a pretty good start. Not the way that he would have hoped for it to, though. But
and he's got the challenge for the lead right here on the double zero.
And there he goes, underneath of Ryan Kendall. He's got his teammate of John Boyd behind him, that being Ryan Kendall, that is. So these two are still side by side for the top position, heading through turns 3 and 4. Give the lead over to Ray Atikian. And how about Neely making it 3 wide for second?
And he clears them too. And you got Ray. Exactly. And you said those two are the Durrani cars, correct? The
yes,
double
sir.
zero and the 41. You drove for Durrani last year in the Cup Series. How's the dynamic you've seen between these two? Wow, the double zero just lost it in that corner.
Durrani got some good cars.
4 wide in the back.
Oh. Yep.
Sorry to cut you off. They got 4 wide right there.
Yeah, they got that settled. Nope, we're about to get another 4 wide, maybe.
That was Erica Douglas in the 32, whose left sides were down on the grass, but thankfully she gathers it back up, and we're still green here. That would have been just outside of the top 10 and 13th. Oh, Thomas Jericho. That's the 4 of Jericho. In between Tallest Hartnett and as well as Alexander Rowe. Look at the 99 doing the same thing. Now, this is the product of how long we've been going on this green flag run on the same set of tires and also the same tank of gas, but mainly the tires. They are proving to be huge game changers here in this green flag run, and we're going to see that take effect as we go later on into the run. But back to exactly the question that you were asking there, Wyatt, about the Durrani racing cars.
Yes, so they still have at one point. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying they had some, Durrani got good cars. The car that I drove last year, the Prime, it was really good. Yeah, it's just weird this year seeing not being in that car, but having my own. So, yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, all 3 of the Durrani cars in the Cup Series last year, they all won a race.
We all did, yes. I'll be honest, I was a bridesmaid for a good majority of some of the season.
But you still put up a good effort nonetheless. I saw Eric Blaze not too long ago. He fell way back in the number 8 machine. Chances are he might have gotten into the outside wall coming off of 4 and lost a lot of momentum and a lot of positions because of that. But he fell outside of the top 10 regardless. And your race leader is Joshua Neely in the 1, Jordan Sumner going to the inside of Dana Mon here for the 2nd position. And you're already starting to see a lot of new players up here inside of the top 10. Of course, we have some of the other usual ones. I mean, of course, both of the Durrani racing cars are still up here, at least for the most part, when you look at John Boyd in the 41. But Erica Douglas is up here. Look at Will Parrish in the 28. Igor Barreto, Josiah Munsell, Thomas Jericho is up here as well. So lots of new players up here inside of the top 10 as we are 1/4 of the way through our 2nd race of the season for the Xfinity Series. And look at this. Sumner taking it downstairs on the 1 of Joshua Neely. So move Sumner up to the race lead. She competes part-time in the Cup Series for Moonstar Enterprises. co-owns the team with Sebastian Vaughn, and now she's going to get challenged for the race lead by Erica Douglas, who has been a longtime veteran here in WRLA competition. Hasn't been around for a little while, but she's back, and she's already leading this race here in Minnesota.
And when a clean pass, that was when you have like other phases coming up. Here comes the I believe that's the 48, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. that orange and white car. Yeah, they're coming up. I think they were in the back. I don't know all the names, so I do apologize. So that's why I'm going with numbers more than names. But like he's coming up through the field. He looks like he or she, I'm sorry. They may try to come up and they're going after fourth over to 98.
I believe Neely might have just gotten into the outside wall there. He's losing a little bit of ground in the number 1 machine. He fell back a couple positions, but still keeping the car straight, at least for the most part, but lost a little bit of momentum there for Joshua Neely. Dana Mon now leads the charge in the Golden Corral machine, and here comes Josiah Munsell right downstairs on the attack, and he's going to lead that lap over Amon of the 27.
Actually, some of the best racing I've seen in quite some time.
It is. But lower series always has put on, like, not that we don't put on a good show on Saturdays in the Cup Series, but the lower series always puts on good shows as well.
We got three wide for the 4th position.
Yeah, that's Thomas Jericho in the 4, already taking it downstairs on John Boyd and Erica Douglas, but they are going to settle it back down to double file action. Speaking of double file, Dana Mon wants that lead back. He's going to easily perform the slide job, if you will. He's going to take over the top position once again. Well, Igor Barreto, who started 39th in this race, he's already up inside of the top 5, moving up into the 2nd position. Actually pretty impressive to see this number 11 up towards the front of the field, and is already going to go for the race lead, and he got it pretty easily as they come off of turn number 4. You can already see this field starting to get strung out just a little bit more as we're already towards the 1/3 mark of this event.
Yeah, you got a little drafting partner to getting by for the lead really easily.
Oh, look at this.
So far, they're all
3 wide.
come all 3 wide for the lead.
3 wide for the top position. Look at Alexander Rowe in the 2. Oh, he had to back out of the gas there, but Ray Atikian, he stands on it, and he's going to take over that top position, heading down the backstretch into the 3rd corner. Ray Atikian goes back to the point, and Alexander Rowe gathers it back up the next lap, and he's already taking it downstairs on Thomas Jericho. Now going to try to get 2 birds with 1 stone.
And here comes Rowe in the bottom. Just like what I was talking about beforehand. Alexander Rowe being one of the people to watch out for.
Oh, and look at his teammate Celeste Lace in the 21, already taking it downstairs on Sarah Taylor and Thomas Jericho. Making it 3 wide there, but Alace not finding a lot of grip down there on the inside line, and he's going to have to slip right back in behind Sarah Taylor in the 24. And they are already starting to go 3 wide once again. And look at Rowe already taking it downstairs to try to take over the top position from the 20 of Ray Atiki, and he's going to lead that lap over the 20 machine as they head back through turns 1 and 2. Alace still trying to make that bottom side work, and he's already gaining a lot of momentum down there on the bottom.
It was a matter of time before we saw both the RCR cars go up to the front, and now you see the 21 going for the lead, and he leads that lap over his teammate, her teammate, the 2.
And they're still double filed, not for much longer. Alace is going to clear up in front of the 2 to finally, officially take over the top spot. But now look at Igor Barreto. Oh, 4 wide up here. They're getting a little close here.
They're still 4 wide. They're touching. Are they going to clear it up this corner?
And they did.
Oh, they get the 32 back down, backed up on with the smart move.
Just barely clipped the apron. That was Erica Douglas in the 32. John Boyd and Thomas Jericho. Oh boy, 3 wide for second behind Igor Barreto. Atikian is going to make that move work. Heading back through turns 1 and 2. Atikian going to make that bottom side work pretty easily, or at least try to find as much grip as he can. So far, the bottom has been able to build up some grip, and look at that.
Oh, here we go.
Great momentum by the 20, but don't look now. Here Here comes the car on his inside. I believe that's the 00. Yep, it was 00. We backed off a bit. Ray held him off, and he's into the lead now.
And how about that? Atikian goes back to the point. I think this is the third time tonight that we've seen Ray Atikian manage to muscle his way back up into the race lead. And look at Ryan Kendall in the 00. He's not done. He wants this race lead back. Erica Douglas trying to make that complete bottom side work. So far, hasn't really been able to put together any sort of benefit to doing that. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I believe pit stops are getting ready to start.
This is what I was wondering, you know, like it was almost like a feeling out process from the start until the first round of green flag pit stops happened. Then I think we'll see some real action going on.
And I think a second wave just came in too, and this we're going to see like most of the field.
Actually, no, here comes the second wave of cars. That was Harun Khan Koiloglu that was way out ahead of the first wave, and now here comes the second pack of cars being led by Ray Atikian, Douglas, Jericho, others. Now all on pit road on lap number 50 with 49 laps complete. And Igor Barreto gonna be followed by Celeste Lace. There's Derek Hamill in the 19. We saw him in last night's truck race before that wound up getting cut short. He's in the pits. Rowe and also the 51 of Carter Belair is in. There's Eric Blaze in the 8. He wound up staying out. So
now the question is that a smart thing of staying out, being maybe one of the, like just a solo car?
Probably waiting for a caution, but if he don't get a caution, he may have to come into the pits to service his car if he haven't already. Or he wasn't already like the first car to do it. We didn't catch it, but
you know, and I don't know about you, Wyatt, but like being in the car, you don't see most of like the 4 wide behind you going on. But being up here, you know, it's like I might need a CO2 tank or something.
I understand that 100%. Like, yeah, you're mainly in your cars. You're mainly focused ahead of like what you're trying to do to get up to the front. And it looks like it's a traffic jam getting up to this with all the cars getting back all together. Yeah. But yeah, like you said, focus unless you're in the 4 wide. You ain't worried about that unless it affects you in the long haul.
Yeah, and these drivers, of course, they did have to be a little bit careful there because of the other cars that were coming out of the pits and rejoining the racing surface, all while other cars that were already up to full speed. Man, that actually got pretty close there. But at the end of it all, your top 10 looks like this officially after our first round of green flag pit stops. It is Ryan Kendall who leads the way. Running in the second position, that would be Ray Atikian. Dana Mon is in third. Erica Douglas sitting in the fourth position behind the battle that's going on between Amon and Atikian. Completing your top 5, that is Igor Barreto. Then in 6th is the 41 of John Boyd, Joshua Neely in 8th, Thomas Jericho 9th. Joshua Neely 7th, excuse me. Then it is Thomas Jericho in 8th, Celeste Lace in 9th, and Emmanuel Hartnett completes your top 10 as we are just 5 laps away from the halfway mark coming up here in the second race of the season here in Minnesota Park. If you're just now tuning in, we have been caution-free leading up to this point, and the racing that we've seen has been absolutely spectacular to say the least. And we're going a lot longer than what we did in last night's truck race, and we're getting a lot more action. Here comes Dana Mon to the inside of the 00 of Ryan Kendall as they head back into 3.
Yeah, now it's a full horse race, but don't look too far ahead. Even though we got a full horse race, I did see on one little bit we do have a lap car coming up, and I believe that is the 42 right here. But it may be a few laps before we get to the 42.
Yeah, that is Harun Khan Koiloglu in the 42. He was amongst the first he was the first car that I saw come into the pits. He was already halfway down pit road when the first wave of cars came into the pits. So he is currently running 40th on the tail end of the lead lap here in this event. But Dana Mon in the 27 leads the way. Here comes the 32 of Erica Douglas. Remember, these two are teammates for Jordan Anderson Racing, and they're already starting off this year pretty hot. They're 1-2 in this race right now as Atikian and Kendall fight it out for the third position. And look back here with Thomas Jericho, Joshua Neely, and John Boyd. They're all 3 wide, or at least they were, for that 6th position. Give it to Thomas Jericho, who wins that fight coming off of turn number 2.
And being 3 wide, if you're in this far back, is not that smart because you need to get single file if you want to catch the first 4, which are all kind of jumbled up as it is. Like they are right now, that's the best thing to do right now. Stay in the line, try to get the speed so you can catch the draft. Right now, moving forward, would be Ray Atikin in the number 20.
Now, it is actually pretty interesting that you say that, though, Wyatt, because you and Russell both experienced this last year in the Cup race and as well as last night in the truck race. This racetrack is just about 1 mile long, but it has similar characteristics to a super speedway. If that is all the case, if this is just a 1 mile racetrack and all the cars are as bunched up together as they are, why do you have to tackle this racetrack like a super speedway?
I'll let you start that off, Russell.
Well, like just from like what I'm seeing, the drafting, to really catch up, the super speedway factor. Like you're coming up. I can't even English today. Wow. But no, like 1 mile track, you don't think it's that much of a big deal, but they're all going high speeds. So yeah, you gotta, if you want to try to catch a pack as strung out as they are, yeah, you're gonna have to go nose to tail in order to catch them.
Like you said, especially how fast these are and how wide these cars, or how many side by side they could do. You gotta keep like a straight line to get that force to get closer to it, which that pack does not look like they're catching the front pack at all.
No.
Yeah, so far as of right now, as jumbled up as the lead group is, the 4 horses, these guys over here, they're sort of in formation with the exception of Boyd and Jericho. It looks like I don't think they really made up a whole lot of ground between the 3rd and 4th place cars. The gap between those two is currently a 1.4 second difference, and coming to the stripe this time by, it is now 1.5. So they lost a little bit of time just trying to catch up to the lead pack because they are racing up here between Boyd and Neely. And then, of course, Igor Barreto, Thomas Jericho, they're all fighting it out for position. And then you look back over here, this group being led by Sarah Taylor. So there's a little bit more happening over in this group. There's a few more cars compared to what we've even seen with the second pack and as well as the lead pack. There's Carter Belair in the 51, making his way down to the inside of Sarah Taylor. Derek Hamill in the 19. He had a really hard crash last night in the Truck Series race, but it's already recuperated and ready to go here for this event. I mean, we are past the halfway mark here in this race. He's just outside of the top 10, and if he can get up to Carter Belair and get around him, he would officially be inside of the top 10. Sort of a no-duh Sherlock moment there for me to say that, but that's just the obvious.
And it looks like this third pack right here might be catching the second one little by little. Like, I don't think there's one. Like, there's almost like the 51 is almost caught the draft. If I believe. Oh, you already moved it too quick before I could say get the number. I think the one and the I believe the.
Yeah, this is the 51 of Carter Belair. So
Yeah,
far,
I know that. He's still trying to skip the draft with the 1 and of 21. That was the other number I was trying to say.
Well, so
I'd give him about
far,
another lap or two before they catch that.
yeah, I would 100% agree with that. The difference between the 9th and 10th place cars so far is a 1.2 second difference. And that could very well change here when they cross the stripe. The gap between the lead pack and the second place pack so far is now a 1.1 second difference. The closest that they've gotten has been about 9/10 currently as of right now.
And as long as we stay caution free, we still have another like 10, 20 laps before we have to do another green flag pit stop. But it looks like they're actually kind of sniffing the draft a little bit.
So far, I believe the gap has now grown once again. I think it's a 1.7 second difference, but I think that's going to change a little bit more as they're going to cross the stripe this time by. With Atikian and Kendall still fighting it out for position, the gap is now 9/10 between Dana Mon, who's currently scored 4th, and John Boyd, who's currently scored 5th as of right now.
Don't look now, but in front of the leaders, I see there's the lap card up ahead of the 42 and the 3. They're still, like I said, they're catching, not quick, but they're almost there to them. Especially if those two keep being side by side.
Yeah, that's Arun Khan Koiloglu, and then also the 3 of Austin Kane. They've been fighting it out here for the 39th position, and Ajax Fitzgerald not having himself a good night so far, currently running in the 38th position. Not one of the things that you would want to see for one of your other cars, Russell. Just some of the other drivers not faring too well here in this event, especially after the first round of green flag pit stops. But who knows? Maybe this next round of green flag stops, which more than likely is going to be the second and final round, there possibly may be a chance that Fitzgerald could get himself back into this thing.
Yeah, this is also giving like Talladega racing kind of vibe to me. It's like caution free, but it's just when or if the big one's gonna happen.
Don't look now, but here comes the 41 and the 11. They've about almost caught. Dang near about caught them. I'd say maybe the lap 2, maybe 3, they'll be with the pack, and he's bringing the 1, the 20, I believe the 21, the 4, and the 21. If I'm looking at that right, yes, they're bringing with them, and here in a few laps, those are probably going to be a 4-horse race is going to turn into like a 9-horse race. And then the pack behind them are catching them too.
Yeah, the gap right now between 4th and 5th is a half a second difference between Kendall and now the 11 of Igor Barreto. The difference between the 9th and 10th place cars, that being Jordan Sumner in the 98 and 10th, and then the 9th place car of Thomas Jericho. That is a 1.7 second difference. So these cars are all slowly starting to come back together here before we get ready for our second and final round of green flag stops. They're also catching up to the lap traffic, the slower traffic, that being the 3, the 42, the 88. Oh, Eric Blaze back here as well did not have himself a good stop the last time around.
And that's one of the things that I was talking about, when he was still on the track. Is it going to bite him being a single car pitting by yourself?
As they come, they're all single file. No one's really double filing the back. This is going to be interesting. Pit stops they may be getting ready to do pit stops here in the next few laps, but this is going to be interesting, boys.
And look at that already. Atikian taking it downstairs on Ryan Kendall. And both of the Jordan Anderson racing cars looks like they're going to try to stay up high and probably stay with the 00 of Ryan Kendall, but Atikian doesn't need any help at all. He goes back to the race lead here on lap number 83, or at least to start lap 83, with 82 laps complete, less than 40 to go from here in Minnesota.
And we know the 3, 42, and 88 are all praying for a caution right now so that they don't get a lap down. I mean, I know I would.
As the owner of the 20, I'm hoping not. But anyways, that's being non-biased.
Nobody really wants to see a caution, except for diehard racing fans.
Yeah. They're coming up on those 3 lap cars here in a They've been in like the next few laps, but don't look now. Here comes that second pack. They about dang near caught them now.
It's about
If not, they've already.
It is about 0.2 of a second, so they have essentially just caught this lead pack here. So make this pack about a 9-horse race for the race lead, and what could potentially be the win if they manage to find themselves back together once we get down to it. They've caught the 42, the 3, and the 88 all collectively at the same time. So now the question is, where is Erica Douglas going to go? And if that's, and wherever she goes, will the leaders go with her?
Well, they're currently looks like they're kind of slowing up the pack at the moment, so it's definitely dragging the second group all together. But now, like you might, the 40 almost made it 3 wide on the outside.
Got a little loose there.
Yeah, indeed, definitely got a little loose there. That was Harun Kankoiloglu that almost bounced off of the 42 or even the wall. Eric Blaze, bottom of your screen. I just saw him make his way into the pits.
Oh.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I think Eric Blaze pitted before everyone else, unless this is like a strategy they're trying to do to pick their race up. But it looks like that's the start of the green flag pit stops. And here in a little bit, we're probably going to see more cars coming down to make their stop.
And the chances are, I would have to believe that the strategies, at least this time around, they're going to be a little bit more split than what we've seen in the first round of green flag pit stops, when we just saw a vast majority of waves of cars just make their way down into the pits. So I would expect a lot of these drivers to roll the dice a little bit here on this final round of green flag pit stops. But so far, they have not elected to come down just yet. But Douglas still leading the charge. Ajax Fitzgerald making his way to the inside to get back onto the lead lap. And Rayatikian is thinking about making it 3 wide. However, Kankoiloglu. Oh, careful there. He just about caused a huge accident there while he was getting ready to make his way down onto pit road. 30 laps to go from here in Minnesota. And Rayatikian, you guessed it, goes back to the point.
And this is tally number 4 of him being up front for the 4th time. And this, the only good thing now, well, the 32 is about to pass him, but he did have a lap car between him and the 32. But now, about to clear that. And look, that pack that just came up.
Well,
I was talking.
And Igor.
I was talking about that second pack was going to catch him. Now they did, and now here comes the 1 and the 21 and the 11 trying to come into this party.
Celeste Lace with a great run coming through turns 3 and 4. He gets by Ryan Kendall and Igor Barreto, at least pulls up alongside him. He gets a great run through 3 and 4, but barely hangs on through 1 and 2. As up front, Douglas already challenging for the race lead on Rayatikian. Another thing that I'm kind of surprised about, these drivers have yet to make their move down into the pit road area. So I would have to expect maybe next time around, or maybe closer to lap 100, closer to 20 laps to go. And this is going to get very, very interesting.
Trying to make sure they have enough.
Getting interesting now.
They're getting really close on fuel, so they're going to have to fit. It's going to be soon, but I think they're trying to make sure they have enough. If you have to do like not overtime, but at least you get it to where they can make it to the finish. And right now, it seems like they got plenty, and here we go!
Atikian and Douglas both elected to come on down. They're the only 2 to pit as of right now. Sebastian Kukalon, Moscow, Nick Martin is in. There's Haley Curtis and Reagan DeFeo, 2 of the Alpha Prime cars. Campbell Marsh is coming on in. And more are coming on down.
Oh my God.
Stremme and Barreto. Man, that was a close call for Kenny Stremme. He almost got into the back of his own teammate there.
That wasn't even one of my drivers, and I kind of clinched a little bit, like, that was way
too close for comfort.
It was.
Indeed, it was. Here comes Neely. Neely's going to make the move on to pit road, as will Kendall, Carter Belair, Austin Kane, Thomas Jericho. And as you can see, a lot of strategies we're seeing more strategies than what we saw towards the beginning of this event. Douglas and Atikian, they're already back out onto the racetrack. Here comes Fitzgerald and Alace on down to pit road. Parrish, as well as the 16 of Kenny Stremme, several other cars coming on in. Rowe chooses to stay out. Noah Carr's 4 seconds back. And I believe those are the only 2 other cars that have yet to come on down to pit road.
Here comes the 2.
And I believe the 92 of Noah Carr's will make his way down into the pit area. So now with 99 laps complete, I believe as Alexander Rowe's going to cross the start-finish line this time around. So 21 laps of racing to go. Rowe leads. He's currently scored as the race leader. But the question is, I don't really think it's going to be much of a question here because Erica Douglas is still out ahead of Ray Atikian. So this right here, more than likely, would be the race not just for the lead, but more importantly for the win. With 100 laps complete, 20 to go. Maybe, if depending on when the race leader decides to cross the start-finish line. Heading back through turns 3 and 4. I would definitely have to say here that Douglas is leading the charge, and indeed, that is the case. So, your top 10 with 20 to go is Erica Douglas, who leads the way, Ray Atikian in second, John Boyd in third, Igor Barreto scored fourth, about 3.3 seconds back. That would be the 5 of Joshua Neely. He's fifth. Then Sarah Taylor in sixth, Dana Vaughn in seventh, Celeste Lace in eighth, Ryan Kendall ninth, and Carter Belair completing the top 10, as Atikian is just about a third of a second behind Erica Douglas.
Yeah, he's in this draft. He's not pulling him in there, but he's in that draft. And don't look now, but it's 2 cars versus I think 4. Yeah, that second pack is also coming. So we're about to have like this 2-horse race is about to become like I think a 6-7 horse race.
Oh, why did you have to say that, Wyatt? Why did you have to say that?
I wasn't trying to make it. It actually is going to be like it's going to be a 5-horse race because the 88 is a lap down. I didn't mean it to come out like that. I was trying to avoid it so bad, but I couldn't. I don't like it. I don't like saying it myself. It was just like, oh wow, I'm shooting myself in the foot. But anyways, here comes the 20, and he's right there on the 32.
Yeah, he is right in the tire tracks of Erica Douglas here, coming off of turn number 4. And I wouldn't be too surprised if Atikian tried to take it downstairs, heading through turns 3 and 4. The gap is now less than 0.2 seconds between the 32 and the 20 as they head down the back straightaway into the third corner.
And it's about to come up to 15 to go, so this is going to be the race.
And there he goes.
The 32 led that lap. We got 15 to go. And this is going to be a battle, boys. This is going to be a battle.
Atikian has had...
That seemed like a bump and run.
Man, Atikian has had the strongest car all night. He's going to take over the race lead from the 32 of Erica Douglas with less than 15 laps to go, 14 as of right now. So Douglas gets kicked back to second. Then it's Joshua Neely in third, having himself a great rebound from Daytona this past Friday night. John Boyd and Igor Barreto, they're fighting it out for the 4th position. HX Fitzgerald is just here. He's having himself a good time in that car, so we'll have to get ready to go for Las Vegas this next Friday night, which you'll be able to catch these cars on the racetrack at Las Vegas Motor Speedway on the 27th of February at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, live right here on Twitch. You'll be able to see action like this as Douglas sends it through turns 3 and 4 to take that race lead back.
Don't look now, but here comes
number 1.
And number 1 in the 41, but also don't look now. They're coming up on another 2 cars of lap traffic, but now they're side by side. I think it's the 42 again.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
Koiloglu. who's been stuck here in the back this entire race, as is the 53 of Justin Ingleham. He was one of those drivers that was up front and had potentially a shot at winning this race, winning Daytona along with Bryce Segan, but they had themselves a nasty accident last Friday night, and we're coming up on 10 laps of racing to go, and they're 3 wide for this top position. Douglas backs out of that one. Neely with the great run coming off of turn number 4. He goes to the point with 10 laps to go in Minnesota.
And there's the 41 and the, I can't tell the car, I think that's the 11. Yep, they're all there. They have a shot for the win. I can't say the same for the 88. He's a lap down. Sorry, Russell, on that one. But hey, you got
mine's in the lead right now, so you know, hey, I'm happy somewhere.
Yeah. Hey, I still got one in the wing in second place, so he's not that far.
Oh,
I will not be surprised.
I can't take anything away from Ray. Last year, me and Ray had quite a few battles. So I know what Ray is capable of.
And he's going to show exactly that capability that you're talking about. He's going to take it downstairs on the one of Joshua Neely. He's right there alongside the Bass Pro Shops Chevy. And he's going to try to set it into turn number 3 and take that race lead back. Look at John Boyd. He's going to follow right into the tire tracks. Douglas will follow. Igor Barreto not too far back. Sarah Taylor in the 24. She is far too far behind. If she wants to have any sort of shot at winning this thing, she would have to hope and pray that at least these front 5 cars would wreck. But they are coming up on the slower traffic of the 42 and the 53. Look at Boyd down on the bottom.
And that's not a good spot if you're on the outside with Ray Teakin, because if you catch those lap cars at a bad spot, you could be in the way. Well, I'm sorry, my brain.
Who's going to get caught up by the lap traffic? Pretty much, I think what Wyatt's trying to say, you know.
Thank you. Sorry, my mouth was working faster than my brain at the moment, but yeah.
5 laps to go. Boyd all over the back bumper of the 42. He's also got a mirror full of Erica Douglas in the 32. And Douglas is really hungry for this race win. Remember, she comes into this race second in the points, and they're going to get right on by the 42 and the 53 pretty easily. But don't look now. Douglas is going to give John Boyd a little bit of company down there, but is not going to have a good enough run through turns 1 and 2. Probably is going to try through 3 and 4. Oh boy, here we go. He's going to pull up alongside with 3 laps to go.
3 wide.
3 wide. Neely's going to take it downstairs on the lap traffic right in front of the other 2 leaders of Atikian and the 11 of Igor Barreto.
And you got 3 lap down cars all together, so that's kind of separating the 1 and the 20 from the 32 and the 41. But don't look down. Here comes the 1.
Oh, but Neely is coming. Neely is almost up to the front 2.
3 wide in the back.
Turns 1 and 2, 3 wide further in the back. Atikian trying to stay out ahead of the 11 of Igor Barreto, but they work their way through turns 3 and 4. Erica Douglas is going to lead it at the white flag. Will she be leading? Coming back to the checkers. Let's find out with 1 to go in Minnesota.
This is the race, boys. 3-horse race. I think the 20, I hate to say it, but I think the 20 too far back. It's going to be between the 32, the 41,
back
and the
straight
1.
Away one more time. Douglas is going to get into turn number 3, but here comes Neely. Neely down on the inside. And on a last lap pass, Joshua Neely is going to win it at the line.
How about that, Russell? Your first race in the booth, and your number 1 car wins, gets position number 1.
Wow!
I'm trying to find my heart somewhere, you know, because it jumped out. You know, with that. Oh. Whew.
Oh my God! What a race from here at the Minnesota Motorsports Park. I am at a loss of words there. Russell, big congratulations to you. This is your first win as an owner, take me through the emotions right now, man.
I can't even speak right now.
Oh boy, looks like we had a couple other cars that do have some hood damage. Oh, I think even like several cars are smoking. That's Noah Cars in the 92. I believe we might have had a little bit of an accident on the cool down lap, but it doesn't matter. The race is over. Joshua Neely on a last lap pass on Erica Douglas scores.
I think it was last lap. I
That
think it was like
was
last turn.
That was insane. Nonetheless, Erica Douglas finishing in the second position. Oh, so close to her first win. John Boyd coming home in third. Ray Atikian. You got to be proud of this effort, though, Wyatt. He comes home
I am.
with a fourth place finish. Igor Barreto completes the top five. Then it's Sarah Taylor finishing in sixth. Then in seventh is Ryan Kendall. Dana Mon finishing in eighth. Then in ninth is the 21 of Celeste Lace. And Jordan Sumner rounds out your top 10. And take a look at the rest of your results. And again, we were caution free, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? Had a few close calls, but we managed to go 120 laps without a caution flag. And there's positions 11th all the way down to 28th as far as this is concerned. Everybody finished on the lead lap, and then you get on down to Russell Blaze, or Eric Blaze, excuse me. So 35 cars all finished on the lead lap, and then you get on down to Ingleham, Fitzgerald, Koiloglu, Nick Martin, and Austin Kane. They all finished one lap down. So no retirees in this race. So regardless of that, we had ourselves a fairly fantastic and safe race from here in Minnesota.
I will say this, though, that I am proud of him. Not only did he stay on the lead lap, he made it to lap 2 and then finished the race. But I believe he is a part of the knockout qualifying for the cup race, so I believe, right?
Yeah. He's part. He'll have to for the Cup Series. He'll have to qualify his way in to be a part of it, of the knockouts. But yeah,
I don't know about you, Wyatt, but I think I learned a lot for tomorrow's race.
I did too. I learned a lot, and I know Ray. I will be talking to Ray, who will be my manufacturer teammate in the cup race. If he gets in, if not, he will give me some pointers and stuff. I'll talk to my sister as well. She didn't finish all that well, 28th, but not too bad. But yeah, talk to them about what lines worked, and yeah, get information to help. Who knows? Maybe that last lap battle could have me and you in it, Russell.
Yeah, never know. Especially, obviously, it proved tonight that it don't matter where you're at. It's just a matter where you're at after the last pit stop.
And who knows? Maybe the cup race could go caution free, which that would be.
I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that.
I agree with you, buddy. I agree with you.
Well, nonetheless, though, ladies and gents, I mean, we had ourselves a fantastic night here at the Minnesota Motorsports Park. We actually got 120 laps in, unlike last night where we only got 40 out of the 100 laps for our truck race. But nonetheless, you will see the trucks again when we go to Las Vegas next week. And then, of course, Xfinity will join them. But tomorrow night, we have WRLA NOS Energy Cup Series racing from here at the Minnesota Motorsports Park. You'll be able to catch qualifying tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on the YouTube channel, and then the race itself at 7 p.m. Eastern on Twitch. So be sure to come on down to Twitch here after you see qualifying over on YouTube to see 200 laps of action from here at the Minnesota Motorsports Park. We do want to thank my two friends up here in the booth, Russell Blaze and of course Wyatt Walker, for joining me up here in the booth. Gentlemen, you guys definitely learned a lot, not just in the truck race, but also watching this race here tonight. And I want to wish you both the best of luck here for tomorrow night's Cup action from here at Minnesota.
Well,
Thank you.
I know I got one person I can rely on for tomorrow.
Say,
I
same
was
here,
having a
get it.
battle with him last year for the championship. Now he's my teammate.
Yeah, you picked a good teammate there, but I still got my dad was part of that battle between y'all. He finished sixth in the points stand, but he don't be surprised if he's still up here again looking for his first win.
Yep.
And of
It
course,
took me a while to get my first win, but
That took
he'll
me
get
to where
he'll
we
get
didn't have-
his.
there was no points involved when it came to my first official win.
Well, of course, the driver that Russell is talking about is Kyle Craven, who won this last September when we raced here for the first time ever. So Kyle Craven coming in as the defending winner of this race, looking to go back to back. And of course, this year he is Russell Blaze's teammate. So again, want to wish you both the best of luck here for tomorrow night's race here at the Minnesota Motorsports Park. And we want to thank you guys a lot for watching tonight's action from here in Minnesota for our second race of the season. Congratulations to Joshua Neely, driving car number 1, and he finishes in position number 1. If you guys are watching this live on Twitch, be sure to hit that follow button so you don't miss any future streams from Wednesday through Saturday. If you're watching this over on the WRLA YouTube channel, if you guys liked what you saw, be sure to hit that like button and be sure to consider subscribing in order to keep up with some fine racing content all throughout the 2026 season. And one more time, congratulations to Joshua Neely on winning tonight's race from here at Minnesota. And again, on behalf of Wyatt Walker and also Russell Blaze, I'm Elijah Leonard signing out. Have yourselves a fantastic night, and we'll see you all tomorrow for WRLA NOS Energy Cup action from here in Minnesota.